Okay, we spent about 30 minutes sitting here doing damn audio. I'm sorry for that. That's my fault. It's free game. That's free game. But I got a very special podcast today. I got my beautiful mother with us today for Mother's Day. And I got my brother.
Hello, how's it going?
I like the haircut, man.
Thank you. I just got it done. We're going on a trip. We leave tomorrow, so I wanted to look nice for our trip.
Yeah, we all going to Vegas, man.
You don't want to look like a terrorist.
No comment.
I can say that because I'm mom.
I told him that I was gonna fuck with him and get one of the ladies to check his bag on the plane. I was gonna slide her like $20. That'd be hilarious.
My children are going to get me stuck in Nevada.
I think we can all agree before I shaved and got the haircut that it was kind of much needed for a haircut anyways. I've been letting it grow out for a couple years now just to kind of see how long I could get it. So
it's funny just to, they're gonna let us all through and they're like, yep, you step to the side, brother. We gotta check you, pal. We don't know what you got. But anyway, so welcome back to the Terrible Influence Podcast. My girlfriend just walked in the door. How are you?
Your nails are pretty. Will not give a shout out to that place online at all.
I don't blame you.
Yes.
Was it that bad? I believe it because Mama didn't even get her nails done. But the first things. So I do want to talk about two things before we get into it. So one, I want to talk about the dude that attacked Dave Chappelle. I think it's kind of wild. I feel like comedians get a lot of slack nowadays, and now like it seems like people are trying to change like the definition of being a comedian. But I don't think people realize that every joke comes at somebody else's expense. Whether it be yourself or another person, every joke comes at somebody else's expense.
That's why it's a joke.
Exactly.
I don't think it's necessarily comedians. I think it's just comedy as a whole. We live in a society now where people like to get offended on other people's behalf. And granted, that's just my opinion. But, I mean, people like to get offended on other people's behalves. And so they're like, well, that's not funny because it offends so-and-so. And that's not the way comedy's supposed to be. Comedy's supposed to be either you like it or you don't. If you don't like it, then it's not for you and you go somewhere else.
Well, I think another problem is people consume so much bullshit even though they don't like it. And then they get mad that they consume it. Like, if you don't want to watch it, just don't watch the shit, dog. Like what are we doing? If you don't want to watch something, if you turn on a comedy special and you don't like it, okay, you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you not liking something, or even if everybody else likes it. I think that's the problem. People just consume that shit and it just brings people down. So I think, you know, if you're not a big fan of that comedian or whatever it is, if you click on my podcast and you hate me, that's fine. I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't expect everybody to like me. I don't expect everybody to, you know, abide by what I do or think how I think. But that's how the world progresses. It's a good thing. Everybody thinks different, but it's not. You don't always have to voice your opinion. I think it's, you don't. Not everything needs an opinion.
I think if everyone started worrying about bettering themselves, they wouldn't have time to be butthurt by what everybody else thinks and says.
That's true.
But everybody is so worried about what other people are doing, so they're going to constantly be butthurt.
Yeah. I just want y'all to know that motherfuckers live a lot longer when they mind their own business.
But back to the subject at hand. Regardless,
My son thinks he's ghetto.
I'm not ghetto. I'm just being real. People live a lot longer when they mind their own business. Am I wrong?
But I think regardless, back to the original point, I mean, I don't think he should have been tackled. Regardless. I mean, in my opinion, no matter what he said can justify that man getting up there and tackling him on stage. If you want to talk to him after the show or, you know, message him or something like that, say, hey, I took issue with this joke, that's one thing. You know, if it offended you personally, but you don't need to make a fool out of yourself and embarrass him in a public place like that, I think.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It's
supposed to make people laugh. It is supposed to be funny. And if you are that concerned with what a comedian is saying, like, or an actor or an actress, don't watch them.
I was about to say, just
Don't support them.
Yeah, just don't go.
They make money off of their fans. If you are not a fan, then why are you spending your hard-earned money
To go watch them.
to go watch them? Because tickets ain't cheap these days.
Yeah, that's wild. But so I just want to talk on that for a minute. Another thing is,
Then he needs his mama to whoop his ass. That's what that guy needs.
well, he got his ass whooped. I don't know if you saw the picture, but it was bad.
No,
His
but
arm was like turned backwards.
are you talking about Dave Chappelle or the attacker?
The attacker.
I'm talking, the attacker needs his mama to whoop his ass.
Well, I don't think he has parents.
Everybody has a mama, and not a birthing person either.
I think like his mom's dead.
Or, as I saw yesterday, that I really like the new name, Cooter Shooter.
Oh my god, that's getting clipped. That's getting clipped. Okay.
Next topic.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Now we
wild.
transition from the cooter shooter to Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to touch on a little
Speaking
bit.
of cooter shooters.
Not my kids.
Oh my god.
Not my circus.
How do you feel about putting a coat hanger up there?
So yeah, next thing I want to touch on a little bit is the Roe v. Wade shit going on. So you know a little bit more about me. So can you just kind of explain what they're doing, like what their whole objective is with what they're doing with the law?
Okay, so long story short is basically to take rulings out of the federal government's hands and saying if it is right for a woman to have an abortion. And if that happens, then the states get jurisdiction and can allow it or not allow it. I, however, know that there are more men in Congress than there are women. And the only thing I have to say is there's exceptions to every rule. I am pro-life. I am pro-choice. But I have a uterus, so I get that right to say that.
So me and you talked about this a little bit, and I want to know your opinion. Now, this isn't me. I don't think this way. But they can kill that motherfucker. I should at least be able to abandon it. I wouldn't do it. But if they can kill it, I should be able to leave it and not pay child support.
I hate to burst your bubble there, but it's called giving up your rights. They already have that.
What you mean?
There is an option where you can give up your rights as a parent.
Well,
and
yeah, but still, it
you
doesn't.
release all responsibility. Anything like that.
But yeah, I agree. But there, a lot of time that doesn't happen. Like you're not going out of your way to do that. I don't know. I don't think it's really a man's subject. You know, pro-life, pro-choice. To be real, I don't really give a fuck because I can't have a kid. At the end of the day, whenever I decide that I want a child and my girlfriend does get pregnant, that is at the end of the day, that is her choice. I'm sure we would keep the kid, but
She would be your wife. And like I said, there's exceptions to every rule. But in my personal opinion, there are too many families out there that want healthy babies, and adoption is always a good option.
that is true.
But
I agree with
there
that.
are exceptions to every rule. And I am not saying that a woman should give birth to a baby that died in the womb or a baby that's not going to make it. I am saying that a woman should not be able to have an abortion because she doesn't know how to keep her legs closed.
I agree. That's a fair point. That's a very
If
valid
you can't
point.
use birth control, then because the whole point of having sex is to procreate. Yes, it feels good. I'm 42 years old. I enjoy having sex with my husband.
Okay. You are my mom. What are we doing right now?
But
what are we doing right now?
I use protection. At 42 years old, I got 6 of y'all running around. I don't need no more.
I hope not.
I don't need no more.
But I think it's every woman's choice. So
That's right. And unless you got a uterus and have been through childbirth, which I don't give a damn. I don't care if you've become a woman. You can't go through that pain.
The only thing that
I think we should get the NRA to do it.
The only thing that worries me, and this may be
Cooter shooter.
God, look, I'm gonna put that on a shirt.
NRA supports abortion, baby. Let's get it.
The only thing that worries
You're
me,
wrong.
though, is I feel like a dangerous precedent could be set. I feel like and I mean this in the way I feel like if they go ahead and outlaw it completely on a federal level, that's a dangerous precedent for other things in that general area that they could outlaw.
Well, that's it. It's not going to be outlawed on a federal level. Basically, the federal government's going to say, hey,
They're going to hand it off to the states.
we're going to give the states the choice to decide. And there's either 26 or 28 states right now that says the day that passes, there will no longer be abortions allowed in that state.
Well, one of those states, it also says that it's a felony. That law dates back to 1931.
Well, you can also not walk your goat on the streets of Georgia on a Sunday when it's raining.
Yeah, but that's a bullshit law. Like nobody's gonna get fucking arrested for that. But
Have you
I
ever
would
took a
arrest
goat walking
somebody.
in the rain? It's absolute hell.
have you?
No.
Then what are you talking about?
I'm safe, though. I can walk
but
my
I
chickens
do-
and be fine.
I do agree that at a certain point you shouldn't be able to abort the baby. I do agree with that. I do agree. If you've held that motherfucker for about 4 months already, like yeah, dog, like you already did the deed,
No, you
homie.
can't go through like 7-8 months worth of pregnancy and be like, you know what? This just ain't for me no more, fam.
Well, and so having an abortion is not just a physical change. Like when you get pregnant, there's hormones, there's stuff, your body, your mind, your feelings, your emotions, all that is affected. So it just for anybody out there that thinks an abortion is, oh, we're just going to take your baby. No, that's not how it works.
Who was that? Well, I don't want to spend too much time on it. So we're gonna hop into it, man. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. Unless you're a piece of shit mom, fuck you.
Are you going to cut that or keep that in?
Oh no, that's staying in there.
Okay, good.
No, if you carry your kid for 9 months and abandon that motherfucker, you're a terrible person. You're nasty, dog. You're a nasty person, dog.
True facts.
And if you're
True
a man,
facts.
if you're a man, like I said,
What about Caitlyn?
who's Caitlyn?
Caitlyn Jenner.
That's not a woman. I don't give a
Whoa.
damn.
Do you
I
know-
don't
I
care.
Brave soul.
I do not care
you
how
know?
much money you have paid to have boobs
Did you know?
added on and your penis taken away. You can still not have babies.
I don't think they take it away. I think they.
Did
I
you?
don't care what they do with it. Shove it up your booty hole. I don't know. But you can still not have a baby.
Did you know that she won Woman of the Year her first year of being a woman?
She's a brave soul.
I don't even want to get on that topic because,
Anyway,
that's not a good topic for Mother's Day.
Here's to you.
You think they call her dad still?
Yes.
Mad. Dob.
Anyway, so Mother's Day is coming up. So shout out all the mothers out there. Respect to y'all. I was lucky enough to have my mom and my dad, and also I have a stepdad in my life. So shout out to all the single moms out there specifically. You know, well, all the moms, but shout out to the single moms. Y'all hold it down. I know what y'all go through. But I got my mom on the podcast today, so this is a very special pod for me. So we're gonna get into it. So I kind of want to go through not just being a mother, but you know, what was it like growing up for you in the era that you did? And so you were born in what, 79?
79.
So what was it like growing up for you in that era? And kind of, it's going to lead into another question. So what was it like growing up to you in the era that you grew up in, and how much different is it than what you see now?
Okay, so I grew up in the 80s, the time of parachute pants and MC Hammer, and it was safe to leave your house as a 6 or 7-year-old and be gone all day long. The only requirement and rule we had was you drink water out of the spigot, you only come in to eat lunch, and your ass better be home when them street lights come on. And you better keep your ears open, because if my aunt whistled for you and you didn't come running within 5 minutes and she had to come looking, meh. Now I can't even let my kids hang out in the front yard.
Yeah. So,
And I lived in Tampa. I grew up in Tampa, Florida, a huge city.
yeah, you were born in Detroit or just Michigan? Where were you born in Michigan?
Mount Clemens.
Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Yes.
And when did you move to Tampa?
When I was 4.
When you was 4. So you pretty much lived most of your childhood in
Tampa.
Florida.
Yeah.
So what? So, you of course you go to school, you do all that shit. So since it's Mother's Day, when did you find out you were having a kid? You were having my brother, JJ.
Yes, me. I noticed.
My
Yeah.
first one, it was May of 1996. And I was 16 years old.
Okay. And you finished high school?
Yes.
Okay.
And college.
Okay. So when you found out you were having a kid, what was that like? Like what were the emotions? How long did you wait to tell grandma? Like
So the day I went and actually got a positive test, I took off to your great Aunt Michelle's house on the city bus.
mm-hmm.
It was on a Friday because I was terrified to tell your grandmother. So she picked me up and we went to breakfast. And general rule of thumb, anytime you have to tell your parents anything that involves something where they may kill you, a public place is the best place to always do it.
This is facts. Don't make my mistake.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Tell them at home?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We will get to that. So I told Grandma, and Grandma was upset. And the first words that I heard from a lot of my family was, "What have you done? You have ruined your life. You're a straight A student. You were going to go to college. We had big dreams for you. What's your choice going to be?" Because yes, at 16 years old in Florida, the choice was adoption, abortion, or
Kid.
guess what? I was going to be a mom.
Well, thank God you didn't abort my brother
And I told your
Wow,
grandma
is that
or
33?
put you up for adoption.
and my late Uncle Mike that I was the one that made stupid choices. And I had to step up and do what I needed to do because that was my baby.
Hypothetically speaking, if I was put up for adoption, could you imagine the kind of person I came out to be? What kind of hell y'all would get later in life when I show back up?
I'd
Like,
find you.
What the fuck were you thinking?
So,
But I was happy. I mean, I was scared, but I was happy.
so what? So, you go through. What was pregnancy like? Was it bad? Was JJ a hard kid to carry?
No, he was a big kid to carry. Your brother was 8 pounds, 10 ounces when he was born. And I looked like I was carrying almost a 10-pound baby.
Badass.
Yeah, still
I
eat like it,
loved
too.
orange, anything, orange flavors, orange candy, orange food, Chinese food, pizza. The only time in my life I ate pepperoni.
You know, fun fact to this day, my favorite fruit is actually still an orange too.
Same. And I gave your dad all my morning sickness. So that was pretty amazing. I don't know if it was really true what I did, but I used to climb over him in the bed every day and I would never got sick. Now with you, oh my Lord.
We'll get in there.
Yeah, everything made me sick.
So you figure out you're having a kid. You go through pregnancy. Did anybody? I mean, I know you said of course, you told them, they kind of freaked out and said all that shit. But so did anybody really support you? Did you have anybody else like, it's going to be okay. You got this. Did you have a support system behind you for having a kid that young?
Oh, yeah. So after that was the initial talk, it was, if that's what you're going to do, we know you can do it. And we'll be here for you.
And who'd you get that from? You get that from grandma or Aunt Michelle?
Your grandma, my grandma, good family friend of ours, Debbie, my Uncle Mike.
Shout out great grandma Jean, man.
I miss my grandma.
I have a couple questions real quick before we go too much further in the timeline. Since inflation and everything like that's been big in the news lately, I have a couple questions for you. Gas right now, where we live, it's
This
about
is way off topic.
Yes, it is, but hold on, it's coming back around. Gas right now where we live is about $3.50 to $4, just depending on where you go. Do you remember when you were growing up how much gas was?
Yeah, a bucket of strawberries and some damn nickels.
All right, all you youngins, sit down because you're about to have a heart attack. When I first started driving, gas was 79 cents a gallon.
Oh my Lord!
When I moved to South Carolina in 2001, we thought we were going to have a heart attack when it reached 99 cents.
All right. Oh, next item. Okay, so I was at the store yesterday and I got something to drink, and a typical bottle, 16-ounce bottle of Coke's like $2.19. How much was like a bottle of Coke when you were a little kid, like just running to the store to grab a bottle of Coke for something to drink for a hot day?
Oh gosh, it was under $1. So, like, I haven't
Couple
told,
raspberries.
I haven't told you all these stories, but when I was in junior high, my mother used to give me $2 a day. Like, I'm talking junior high for me was 8th and 9th grade. So I wasn't a 7th grader buying cigarettes. Don't nobody think that, because that was not me. My mother would give me $2 a day for lunch at school. $2 a day at lunch would either get me a piece of Pizza Hut pizza and a drink, or a Cuban sandwich and a drink. I would pocket that money, and I would find somebody that could buy cigarettes, because at the time you could be 18, and I could buy a pack of Newports for $2.
Wow. Now they're like
about to say,
$7.
When-
they're like $6, $7.
When cigarettes went up to $2.25, I actually lied to my mother and said that the school lunch had gone up and I needed $2.25 a day so I could still get my cigarettes. Until I started working at 16.
So did schools have like designated smoking areas
No,
when you grew up?
I'm not that old.
That's like grandma.
Yeah,
So like dinosaurs and shit.
yeah. Like back in the 60s and stuff, some schools did. But
But okay.
no,
so-
we used to sneak off campus to go smoke.
shout out to y'all, man. so where were we at?
I was a good kid, but I was a bad kid.
You sound like me. Where were we at in the timeline? Oh, so
So I had your brother.
I was about to say, so you have JJ. So what was it like having your first kid? How did you feel when you finally? Because of course you go through pregnancy and you have all your thoughts and emotions. So what was it like? Finally having your first kid, or actually, what was it like finding out you were having a boy first?
I was sad. I wanted a girl. I really wanted a girl. Now that I have girls, I don't know what I was smoking back then. Apparently it was more than Newports, but I wanted a girl. When I got pregnant with you, I wanted a girl.
Yeah, she did want you to be a girl for a long time. I remember that.
That's why I couldn't figure out your name. I changed your name several times because you were supposed to be a girl.
Hey, man, in 2022,
No,
we can make that happen.
no, we cannot. You have a sister.
So
Next Bruce.
so you were sad that you were having a boy.
Yeah, but then I got happy.
Okay, so
And then because all I really, really wanted was a healthy baby.
was JJ healthy when he came out?
Yes.
Not very healthy.
He was 8 pounds, 10 ounces. The only thing wrong with him is that his head was so big that he had overlapping bones in his skull. And they said, we have to wait to see if his head's going to like straighten out, or they were going to have to do surgery on it and put like mesh in it because, not to be graphic, but when almost a 9-pound baby comes down the birth canal, it's a tight spot.
I was almost Joe Dirt.
That motherfucker was.
They don't put the wig on me with the mullet and whatnot. I would have left that shit.
As I've heard a comedian say before, try squeezing a watermelon through a Cheerio. See how it works for you.
Okay, that's wild.
That's
I do like
about
Cheerios.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were built like a Neanderthal back in the day, man.
Just about.
Have you seen your brother's arms and legs and how long they are?
That he is lanky.
He is very lanky.
So,
You were a late bloomer. You got to remember, like, you were short for the longest time, and then you hit your height spurt, and now you're as tall as me.
I'm taller than
You're not taller than me. Let's not get into this discussion.
Whatever. Anyways, so you have JJ. So what's kind of like the thought process? Like, are you planning on going to work? I know, because I know you went to military, but like, how did that come about? So were you planning on going to work? What were you planning on doing? Did you and Dad already have a home set up? Or
We lived with your grandma. I was still in high school. I switched over to night school so I could graduate early, because that's what I was told, is that I would never graduate high school. And I said, watch
and now
this.
you got that master's
That's
degree.
right,
Now
that's
you got that
right.
master's degree. She like that.
And so I graduated from school and had to get a job because I had a baby to take care of. And then I decided to go to college. So I did that for a while with
Where'd
your
you go
brother.
to college at?
I started off at Florida Metropolitan University.
Okay.
And then my friend Robin had this brilliant idea to give an Army recruiter my name and number.
Sounds like you got set up to go to the Army.
I did. She, however, thought it was hilarious, but I needed it at the time.
Robin's a mastermind. Every time I've met Robin and whatnot, like
Robin is a
she was like-
mastermind.
Okay.
Like, she called Mom up randomly the other day, and Mama comes to me and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, nothing. She's like, you gonna be at the house tonight? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Why? She's like, okay, cool. Do you mind helping Alan with the kids? I'm going to North Carolina. I was like, what? Going to North Carolina? She's like, yeah, Robin just called me. She's like, she got me tickets. We're going to see Kenny Chesney tonight. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah.
So what do? You get in the car and go.
Okay.
So Robin's always been like that.
The concert was very good.
At least that I can remember.
Well, me and Robin had fun. The lady behind
I was about to
us,
say, that lady was pissed.
yeah, not so much fun on her part.
Anyway, so you have a kid. So you finish school. You graduate high school.
Mhm.
So you start going to college. Now, did you join the military? When did you join the military? Did you get your degree and then join the military? Did you get your
No.
associates, or did you were just like, okay, I'm gonna go?
I was 6 months away from getting my associate's degree and decided to go ahead and leave for the Army. So your brother turned 3 while I was away at basic training.
Now, where did you do basic at?
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
That sounds.
We call it Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri, because there is nothing
EFE?
in Missouri.
And at the
believe-
time, me and Dad were living in, I think, Alabama.
No, you guys were between Florida and here, actually.
Sweet home Alabama.
Hey, that's where you were conceived.
I was gonna say, didn't we? I knew we lived in Alabama.
Don't tell
at
me
some
that.
point.
What the fuck?
So maybe you're the real Joe Dirt.
I'm done. We're wrapping the pod up. We're wrapping the pod up. We're done with that one. So you go to the military. What was that like? How was that? Did you
It
enjoy it?
sucked.
You didn't enjoy it?
I did enjoy some of it. However, if you want to join the military and you don't like to run, the military is not for you. Don't join it. Don't.
So and
That's all you do is run.
And you and Robert did it together, right?
No.
Well,
Well, we did it at the same time,
yeah,
but
but like y'all weren't together.
yeah, no.
Okay.
She
So,
was doing cool stuff like breaking her foot, jumping out of airplanes, and
Why didn't you do?
I
that?
was trying not to get busted smoking in the bathrooms.
So what? Do like how they
Who,
portray?
Rob?
I was about to say, did you have to march and drill sergeants yelled at you and you had to do all that shit?
Yep. Marched, rucksack, ran some more, push-ups, sit-ups.
So I think we're on the timeline. So you're in the military. You had JJ. How old is JJ at this point?
3,
JJ's 3. So what is this? 92,000.
2000.
So
Y2K, baby.
hell yeah. So you're in the military. You're doing that.
I actually didn't know if you'd be born.
Huh?
Yeah,
What you mean?
because I was pregnant with you.
We about to get into that. We about to get into that. Damn, I wasn't even supposed to be here.
The world was going to end.
So you're in the military. When I was born in 2001. So when do you find out you're having me?
It was sometime in the fall of 2000.
Sometime in the fall. So JJ was in May, but you're just winging it for me. You don't know.
No, I just know I was in the military and I started feeling bad. So I went and they were like, "Oh, you're pregnant." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a girl."
So how long were you in the military? It couldn't have been that long. At this
Yeah,
point.
I did active duty for a couple of years, and then I was given some information that after I had you, I was going to be sent to South Korea when you were 6 months old for a year with no family. So that would have meant I was leaving
So
my
what-
brand new 6-month-old baby.
Why were they? What was going on
With our
around
father.
What was going on around that time? Because I know that's a little bit. That's before, because I was born May 22nd, 2001. So that's like 4 months before 9/11. So what was going on for them to send you to North Korea?
And just a
Or
South Korea, just a
South
tour.
Oh,
Like people in the military will go overseas for a year and do a tour with no family. If they get to go longer, they get to take their family with them. But if you're only sent to do a tour in another country for a year, they don't move you and all your stuff.
okay.
They just take you.
Okay, so they're about to send you. They about sent you to South Korea, so you got out of that by having me.
Yes. Well, I was pregnant with you, and I said, "What can I do? I don't want to leave my 6-month-old baby." And they said, "Well, you can not get a promotion for the rest of your time in the Army, or you can get out on a Chapter 8, which is a pregnancy discharge, and go active reserve." So that's what I did.
So you're active reserve still?
No,
No.
I was done in 08.
Okay. So, you said I was conceived in good old Alabama.
Yep.
So how did we end up in? So you find out you're having me. You aren't going to South Korea. You do all that. So how did we end up in South Carolina?
Your grandparents on your father's side, your grandma Robin,
Did she move up
she
here?
lived here.
Okay.
And I did not want to raise my boys in Tampa. It was crazy.
Florida is a wild place.
Yes.
We would have both had felonies by now.
Yeah. Or wanted to be women. Who knows?
So you have me. I was born, of course, here. Lived here my whole life. So you have me.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. So you have me. I lived here my whole life. So you have two kids at this point. So what's life like? You got two kids. How old is JJ? You're about what, like 4 or 5 years older than me?
Yeah,
4.
I'm 4 years older than you.
Yeah. So JJ's what, 4 or 5 at this point?
JJ's 4. You're just born. And a year later, I become a single mom.
Okay. So what? So what was it?
Well, no.
What was it like? So what was it like finding out you were gonna have two kids? Now you have JJ. You've had JJ for 4 years. You're still. I'd imagine you're still kind of learning the parenting thing.
Yes.
So you find out you're having another kid. So what was that like to know you were about to have another kid?
That was exciting. Even though you weren't a girl.
Were you sad when you found out I was a boy?
Yes.
And what do you mean I wasn't gonna be born?
Well, the whole Y2K thing. The world was supposed to end and all that. You were going to be born.
Yeah.
People took that seriously, man. It was a different time. People took Y2K seriously.
Oh,
They
but-
weren't playing. Like,
Once I got over the fact that you weren't a girl, I was like, okay, another boy, no big deal. I was happy.
was
How big
devastated.
was I?
7'10".
I was devastated.
And
I
you
was
were
pissed.
both 21 inches long. Almost 2 feet long when you were born.
Told you I'm taller.
We were both 21 inches.
I was 21 and like a quarter. They don't count that quarter.
And he knows because he was there.
Okay, so
I was there, obviously.
so you have me. So you have me. So I. We'll get into you becoming a single mom, but so you have me. I just kind of this is kind of off topic, but I'm 4 months old and 9/11 happened. So what is your thought when that happens? Especially having two kids. One's 4. I'm 4 months old. Actually, I'm about to turn 4 months old. So what was that like for you? And can you run down like what you were doing? Do you remember?
Yeah,
what
like
you
where
were
was
doing?
everybody at? Start like everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So I was at work at the Reserve Center in Greenville.
Mhm.
And Joshua was getting ready for school because he went to the PM 4K class.
Yeah.
And you were doing baby things, burping up.
Shitting yourself.
Yeah, shitting yourself, stuff like that. We got the phone call to find a TV at the Reserve Center so we could see what was going on. And then we had clothes in our car, we had to change out of military uniforms. It was crazy. I got home that day about 1 o'clock and just watched the news and cried because.
Were you scared? Were you worried?
Very.
Were you worried? Were you worried about what was about to happen? Because I know right after that it started the war on terrorism. So were you worried with you being in active reserves? Were you worried what was about to happen?
Yes. Because I knew the unit I was with was a nuclear, biological, chemical warfare unit. And when those planes hit the tower, we did not know. Nobody knew what was really going on.
Yeah.
So, of course,
So
your
did you-
next thought is what's going to happen next.
So did you think it was just like what was your thought process? Were you just thinking like, oh, what, like a plane went off course? So like, did you think it was like a terrorist attack, or like how did you perceive it? Because you said nobody really knew what was going on.
I perceived it as somebody lost their fucking mind. Because when somebody kills or intends to kill or harm a large group of people, there is something not right with that person.
Yeah.
Because you don't just go around hurting people just to hurt people.
So did they ever get in contact with you?
No.
To go to Iraq or anything like that?
I went into the inactive reserves. You were a baby.
Okay.
My friend Robin left in October to go to Iraq.
She actually went?
Yes. Her husband, Josh, I don't know if he went to Iraq or just to Afghanistan, but yeah, Robin was ready to put boots on the ground over there. She was part of an infantry unit, and I was scared. I mean, I was terrified. You know, when you have kids and you have to leave, and you in a situation like that, you don't know if you're coming home.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're ever going to see them again.
Okay, so all that happens. So you become a single mother.
Yep.
So what was that like? What was that like? Having two kids. We can just be real. We were with you most of our life. Uh, we lived with you all our life. We saw our dad on the weekends or whatever. But so what was that like becoming a single parent and having to deal with stuff like that?
It's hard, and
We were
I don't
hell, Matthew.
think
We were hell.
I don't
You
think
were hell. Don't
We-
say that's not a we thing.
that is
That
a
was
we.
you.
That is a we.
That's not a we thing.
That is a we. You were an accomplice.
I don't think people give enough credit to single mothers because it is a lot to not only take care of yourself, but you have someone that is totally and completely dependent on you for everything,
Yeah.
whether it's one baby or two babies. For you to make sure that they grow up and stay healthy and have a good head on their shoulders. And that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to work. I worked full time. I went to school full time online, and y'all did a lot of stuff
Yeah. We
And we
had a
stayed-
good life.
on the go.
I was gonna say we had a good life.
Kids are time snatchers. I truly believe that. Like with Zachary now, our baseball game starts at 6, but I can never say, hey, we're going to be done at 7:15 and be home by 7:30 and the world's perfect and that's how it goes. No.
Yeah.
We leave at 5:15 and sometimes we're not home until 8 o'clock.
Okay. So you're you're a single mother. What being a single mother? I know it was hard, but what did that teach you? What did that teach you about being a parent, being a better mother, or in general? What did kids teach you about just being a better person, or in general? What did having kids teach you, and what did just us three being together for as long as we were? What did that teach you as a person?
Patience, looking at things in a different way, like really trying to see situations and realities from somebody else's eyes.
Okay.
But the coolest part ever to me was every time y'all did something new, I did it new for the first time too. And it is so amazing to watch your child learn to do something new, whether it be walk, talk, write, read, podcast. It's it's amazing. It's amazing to see the world through your child's eyes and to get excited over the little things again, because I think we all need more of that, to be more excited about sometimes just the little things.
Yeah. Did you always want kids?
Yes. Not as many of that as I have, but yes.
You drew them cards.
Yes. And I wouldn't trade none of y'all for nothing.
Shout out all the siblings, man. Shout out all the siblings. Much love to y'all. But so
which they're not old enough to listen to this. So.
Yeah, I don't think they should anyways. We cuss a lot on here, man. But so you're a single parent. It's me, you, and JJ for a while. Where am I going with this? We can skip the timeline a little bit. There's a bunch of bullshit in the middle. So we go down the road. You have our sister. So what was that like, having your third child, and you finally get a girl? You finally,
it was rough. I was older.
Finally got that woman.
Like my friends now that have babies and toddlers, I don't know how they do it. Because I had your sister when I was 30. Yeah, no, it's exhausting. Babies are exhausting. And this is probably a little bit of TMI, but I tried to nurse your sister and I was not producing enough milk. So try having a baby stuck to your tit every hour for like 30 minutes and you're like, why won't this child stop screaming?
Was it I nursed?
Yeah, for a little while.
Word.
And then went back to work. Joshua was not nursed.
So when
Because at 17 years old, it was not cool to nurse your baby.
You've already finished school at this point, right?
Yes.
Like you've already got your master's.
Yeah, you and Joshua went and watched me graduate with my master's.
We did. I do remember that. So you already got your master's. You know, you did the school thing. You proved people wrong.
That's right.
So, you know, we always had a good home. I would say there was never a point where we got abused or we
I'll abuse your ass now.
I mean, we got whoopings, but we never y'all never came in the room and beat the shit out of us. Like that never happened.
No.
But
Mama didn't play either.
Yeah.
You knew the rules.
So for the let's just say for the single mothers out there, what do you think your best advice would be to them? For a single mom, whether they have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, whatever, what do you think your best advice would be for them?
Take every day, one day at a time. And enjoy every moment because eventually they grow up and they move out. Still waiting on one to move out, but
well, he did move out for a while. Come on now, let's not do that. He moved out for a while, though.
Because the worry I have for you,
happens. It ain't your
for
fault.
both of you now, the worries I have are deeper and stronger when y'all are not at home.
Okay.
Because I mean, you're adults. It's kind of weird if I tell you now at 20 years old to say, "Hey, Matthew, every time you leave your apartment, you need to text me when you get where you're going."
No, that you got to remember it's a different set of problems for us now. Now instead of hey mom, I need help with this homework, or hey mom, I need advice on this. It's hey mom, how do I buy a house?
Yeah.
What do I need to do to get my debt back on track? What do I need to do this?
And see, the proud moments are different now too, because when you're little, the moments of you taking your first steps, you writing your name, you passing a test are your milestones. And now I get to be proud of things of you're fixing to buy your first home. Joshua has given me 2 gorgeous grandchildren that.
I meant to text you about that. We actually got approved for $255. Yeah.
I found a house earlier that I showed Peyton, but it didn't have enough pictures. So. Anyways, so yeah, it's just a different. It's a different worry, So as your kids get bigger and they grow up, like y'all will always be my kids.
Yeah. I'd hope.
And if I don't care how old you are, if you ever get out of line, I hope you know that I am the type of mom that I'm gonna put you over my knee. Like I don't care how old you are. There's just certain ways that you're gonna live in certain values and morals that I've tried to teach you, and so for single moms out there, yes, days are hard when they get stupid and they do stupid shit at school, and you feel like you just can't go anymore. The next day is always better, because no matter what, no matter how bad any of y'all were to ever screw up, you're still my kid.
Yeah.
And I'll still love you.
I'd hope.
But if you go out and do something stupid, you can bet your ass I'm going to be standing behind that judge applauding him and saying, give him the book. I'm not one of these parents that's going to say,
the book.
Let me get you out of trouble, because I believe, in my opinion, that is part of the issue in today's society. We have children whose parents solved every problem for them growing up, and now they're adults and they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
And when they get in trouble, it's, my mom needs to fix this for me, or my dad needs to fix this for me. No, you're an adult.
Yeah.
Fix it. You've got to fix it yourself. But yeah, when y'all do something stupid, I'm not going to try to get you out of the trouble.
Let's knock on wood.
And you better hope that I'm not the one that sees you doing something stupid, because I'm also the mom that will call the law on you. Like, just,
That's fair. So there was some advice for single mothers out there. Y'all better listen up, man. Y'all need this shit.
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them. But most of y'all, and some of y'all need some help.
Your children are going to be.
Oh, and another thing, as a kid,
you just interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm about to smack you on your podcast.
This is my podcast. I'm sorry, but another thing. I want this from a kid standpoint. I never really had to go through this, but stop being with deadbeat men that be like, y'all be getting with women. Moms be not all the time, but sometimes I feel like y'all be picking men, and I get that y'all love that person, but I mean, fuck, like, what are we doing? That motherfucker, he don't have a job.
No,
he don't have like no life goals. Like, what are we doing?
Well, that's the whole thing. If your significant other, your partner, still needs a mama, and they need you to be their mama, then they're not ready to be in a relationship. You can't need a mama. Like, that's just gross.
Well, it's not that. It's like, you always hear stories about like the stepdad's abusive.
Well, yes,
like,
you should always
that's more what I mean. Like, what, like,
you need to be in a long, committed relationship with somebody before you bring your kids around that person.
I was about to say, worry about your kids before you worry about who you love. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be happy, you can't find love, because everybody deserves that. But I mean, if you got kids, that should be your main priority.
That's right.
Completely off topic. You need to touch your damn toenails.
Let's not talk about toenails right now. I'm still a little salty.
Oh, and if you somehow watch this, fuck you, Chad. Let's move on.
What did Chad do?
Next question.
Fuck Chad. You know who Chad is. Oh, yeah, fuck Chad.
I date like 2 guys other than their father and my current husband, and apparently I did not make the right choices either. So.
How you gonna say you're not gonna let? How old are you at the time? Like 8. Yeah. You're not gonna let an 8-year-old watch TV with them.
Well.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
My 8-year-old got back at him by puking all over the back of his truck. So
I'm sitting back.
That shit was hilarious.
I've always been the one to make smart, quick, witty comments. And I remember that day because Matthew got sick, and Chad made the comment. He's like, "Damn it, Matthew! I told you not to get sick in my car." And I looked at Chad with the straightest face, and I was just like, "I told you he was car sick."
I did get car sick, and I was full, and he made me keep eating.
Okay.
Fuck that dickhead.
I did that to you one time too, though, but we were at the beach, and I paid a lot of fucking money for that buffet. So
cool. Oh yeah, hold on. We're gonna go off topic. That shit was crazy, dog. We go to Myrtle Beach as like a family trip, and we were friends with some kids, and Mama was friends with their parents. Like, we were all good family friends. So we go to the beach, and we go eat at this buffet, Krabby Mike's, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
You're probably like what, 10, 11, 12 years old?
I was probably like 11 or 12.
Or 10,
I was about to say I was like 9. I was not 10 to 12. I was in that range. So I'm eating. I want dessert, dog. I've already ate like a plate and a half, 2 plates. I want my dessert.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mama keeps telling me, you didn't eat enough. You didn't eat enough. You need enough. Dog, I get 5 plates in just to get my dessert. 5 plates in. I'm stuffed, bro. My 10-year-old stomach cannot handle this shit no
I'm
more.
on the way to take you to the bathroom. You not remember that?
So I go to the bathroom. I throw up like once or twice. I think I'm straight. Nah, dog. We leave. We go to leave. JJ's like, yo, we're leaving. We got to go. So I was like, all right, I think I'll be good to make it to the car. Hell no. I get to the entrance. There is like 20 people sitting there waiting to eat. And I throw up.
I was gonna say,
I throw up in front of all of them. And I still hold her. My fish that died when I was 5, and that, I still hold that against her to this day.
And then upon that day, though, I uttered the greatest advertising line ever. And I looked at all the people around us watching you getting sick, and I said, food's great.
Okay, so I had a couple hiccups being a parent.
The fish was hilarious, though. We go to Florida for, what was it, like a couple weeks?
This was like 15 years ago.
That shit, no.
Look, now I have dogs and chickens and And I don't need to worry about the fish that I killed 15 years ago by not feeding it.
Well, you
Y'all
should.
always got fed,
It doesn't matter. My fish didn't get fed.
but y'all got fed.
He can't say the same.
Why is a fish the one animal that you can't keep alive? Every time you tried to raise fish, you
That
have
is true.
failed.
That is true.
I forget to feed
You've
them.
been successful
She
with the
forgets to feed
chicken.
'em. It's been 15 years and she still forgets to feed them.
That's
What
why I
do we
have
do?
chickens. They talk to me.
Okay.
The chickens and the dogs all announce that they're hungry.
Okay, let's get back on track a little bit. Then we'll bullshit around for a couple minutes. So you have a girl. So what?
Yeah, let's talk about you driving my car. You and your brother.
No, don't say you. Why is everything a we thing? I wasn't driving. That was a him thing.
Yeah, but when you totaled your car,
That was not my fault.
I still refuse to believe that wasn't your fault.
That was
I
not my
think
fault.
I still think you fucked up, and you're just like,
no,
he didn't
homie
have
really
his, he didn't
did not have
lights on.
his lights on. And when you're driving a black car and it's pitch black,
That's how you make up for the fish. You keep his back on a serious lie that his brother will give him shit over
Well.
for the rest of his life.
Anyway, so we'll bullshit around it and tell some stories. But so you're having a girl. You had our sister Taryn. So how'd you feel when you found out you were finally having a girl?
I was happy. I was ecstatic.
Okay,
I dreamt of bows and dresses and cute little shoes.
Karen hates all that.
Yes, your sister despises all that shit.
hey man, it's part of life.
Yeah.
But so how?
And she's moody and hormonal now because she's 11. And I don't like girls.
I wonder where she gets it from.
I don't like girls.
I wonder where she gets it from.
Oh, I wonder.
Probably her mother. Anyways, so you finally have your girl that you always want a girl. You finally have a girl. So how much different was it to raise a girl? I'd imagine it was kind of like a new. I'd imagine it wasn't like having like your first kid, but I'd imagine it was a lot different trying to raise a girl than it was raising me and JJ.
Well, it was because you were 9 years old
Yeah.
and Joshua was 13. I was pretty much set. Y'all, I could go do what I wanted to do. I didn't really even have to cook for y'all anymore. And I went and screwed that all up.
Well, when me
No, I didn't screw that up because I love your sister more than anything in this world. So,
when it was just me, you and JJ, me and JJ kind of learned to become very independent, I guess.
yes.
Because there was nights where you got home late, and there was nights or mornings where you weren't there, and we had to get on the bus by ourselves and
Yes.
lock up. So
And I think part of that is because, if we had been a two-person, if you had had mom and dad there, it probably would not have been like that.
yeah,
But I also knew how I was raised to be independent, and when all I could think was y'all were boys.
yeah,
So when you grew up, you were not going to leave it to your partner to take care of you like you needed a mama.
shout out my girl.
You were
man.
going to be able to cook. You were going to be able to clean, which Joshua got the assignment. You still struggle
Hey
with it.
man, I clean all the time. I just don't do
Um,
dishes. I don't do dishes. That's the only thing I refuse to do. Dishes will not be fucking
Oh,
touched by me.
you'll wash dishes, just not pots and pans. They soak for eternity.
I think they still got a pot on the counter.
Hey, I'm be real. If
So-
y'all go look on that stove over there, there's like 3 pans over there. I haven't washed it.
So it was different with having a girl after you were 9 years old. Not to mention, girls are treated differently than boys because girls need to be taught that even though their hearts get broken, it's okay. Girls aren't supposed to get hurt.
Yeah.
To me, girls are supposed to be protected. The one thing about the female body that is just amazing is we are the only humans that can have babies. You can't carry a baby.
Not yet.
You can't have a baby.
I think a more amazing fact about a woman is the fact that you can literally bleed for 7 days straight and still not die.
Your stepfather tells me that all the time.
The only thing
Shout
on
out,
the
Alan.
planet that's living that can do that. Name any other creature on the planet that can bleed for 7 days
You should
straight.
be terrified
and not
of women.
die.
We have special powers.
That shit's crazy.
So, what is some walls or obstacles you ran into that you didn't have with me and JJ, or because of female problems? What are some things you ran into that were
Oh, the hormones. Girls are more sensitive about everything. They cry about everything.
I was a sensitive kid.
They're happy, they cry. They're sad, they cry. They're mad, they cry. They're hungry, they cry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Karen's also a lot pickier eater than we
yes.
were. She's always been like that.
And Taryn's very picky. And boys, you throw a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and shoes on, and that child is set. You don't need to worry about dresses and skirts and shorts and tank tops and all that bullshit.
So you got about high school.
Well,
You
yeah.
wear a dress?
No.
No, but I started caring more about clothes and shoes.
So
and
you wear a
shit.
You don't
skirt.
remember Matthew's
Shut up.
like 4-year sweatpants phase?
I do. The things are nasty.
Those yellow, bright yellow sweatpants
Okay,
that Ross
but
gave him?
banana-
But to be
Man.
fair, I never wore them out. I just wore them at home.
I know. And we could spot you wherever you were in the house.
They were comfortable.
Banana pants.
But it was funny because you did only have one pair of jeans, and that was your
And you
public
hated them.
jeans.
I didn't like wearing jeans, but now
And you
we're
always
now
wore that
we're like
Minecraft
jeans
thing.
and cargo pants and stuff. I wear that shit all the time.
And
Now
you
you're
always wore-
more fashionable than all of us.
I try my best, man.
I know.
I wouldn't say fashionable just because he spends $200 on phone.
Well, but he does follow like the trends and stuff like that. Like I could care less. I have clothes in my closet from 15 years ago, and I'm still rocking that shit.
Well, that's debatable. Trends vary depending on what subsection you follow.
We're not getting into
Like,
the damn trends debate.
In my group of trends that I follow, Matthew's not fashionable.
Look at what you're wearing.
I am very popular in the wrestling community. I don't want to hear
Look what you're wearing.
I like the
I like
Hot
my
Wheels
shit.
shirt.
I like the shirt. We can do better on the jean shorts, though.
jeans.
Jean, the jorts, the jorts.
They're not even a jean material.
It doesn't matter.
They're like a cactus.
It
Yes,
kinda
you can't
does
call
matter.
them jean shorts if they're not jeans.
Don't ever wear those again.
I hope you wear
We
them
might
every
get
day
them.
while we're in Vegas.
Oh, please don't. I still gotta go. I still gotta go get in the damn floral button-up shirt.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure they lose your luggage. Since you want to play that $20 prank, I'm gonna give somebody $20 to lose your luggage, but I'll make sure I got a pair of shorts for you to wear the whole time we're there.
I'll just go buy
I'm
some.
like, here, Matthew, these are the only ones you got. Nah, I'll make sure your wallet's in your luggage. I got this. You got everything.
Why would I put my wallet in my luggage?
Because you're gonna get robbed.
JJ, if you sat there and tell me like, yeah, put on your pocket belongings in your luggage, I'd be like, yeah, it's probably not. I don't know
Put all your what?
pocket belongings, like my AirPods. I don't know. I didn't know what else to call it.
Pocket
Like-
belongings?
Like my phone.
Your
my,
pockets own shit? I need to buy some pants like that.
I
'cause
couldn't think of
my
another
pants are
word.
poor.
Is that your phone? Nah, that's my pockets.
That's my pocket belongings.
Yes, and when you guys get married, he becomes your pocketbook.
Can I hit your
I
vape? I don't know. I
believe
gotta ask my pocket.
That is where it came from because when I went to the concert with Robin, that's what I asked my husband. I said, what am I going to do? I have to carry all my own shit. I don't carry a pocketbook. I don't have pockets big enough to hold all my shit.
Okay. Well,
But he does.
well, we're gonna. So we kind of went through parenthood and what it was like. Find out you were having kids and all that. So, I do got a couple more questions and then we can bullshit for like 10 minutes. What's one thing as a mother, not a single, but as a mother in general, that you've learned that you think was the most important, that helped you the most, not just helped us, but helped you the most also?
One thing that I learned. To be accepting. In everything.
Talking to you, Caitlin.
Because I know I say a lot of stuff sometimes and I'm like, I'll whoop your ass, this and that, but
What? Hold on. What?
I don't. As long as you're happy, I'm happy for you. And acceptance and forgiveness are two things you have to learn as a parent.
That's good.
They have to. You have to learn. You have to learn patience,
I like that. That's a
and
good
you
answer.
have to learn acceptance, not just for your own child, but the people they choose to hang around, the choices they make. If I had made choices for y'all, then, and if I wasn't accepting, both of y'all would have gone to college. I would not be a grandmother yet.
Yeah. We support college dropouts on here.
Things like that. But that's only because I went to college. So, but college isn't important. You don't have to go to college to have a good job or make good money.
I agree.
Especially in today's day and age, we have kids.
There's just so many ways to make money now. There's just so many ways to make money
That's
now.
my other advice.
Like if you get some
Stay
sponsors
off
on
social
Hey,
media.
if you get some sponsors on here,
You're
man,
literally doing a podcast right now.
Well, I get that, but
That's
social media is trash.
social media is very toxic.
It's worse than the news.
I got like one or two questions. Maybe you want to ask her some questions. You can. One more is what was different for you growing up, or like how do I word this? When you were growing up, what was different than watching us growing up? Like, of course, like the social media and shit, but just like life in general. Like, how much different was your life for you growing up and then seeing us grow up? How we grew up? What was different from that? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So part of it is when y'all were growing up, we moved to South Carolina, and at the time we had no extended family here. But when I was growing up, every holiday was spent at my grandmother's. Family time was very important. And everybody seemed to enjoy family time, like not just our family. And I think we as humans have gotten so busy in our lives that we tend to push that away. And we don't make time for that because there's always something else that needs to be done.
And
Or so we think.
and I agree with that a lot because ever since I moved out, I used to hang out in my room all day and play the game, but now I value I value my time with y'all a lot more than I used to. Because I guess I just didn't really think about it, or I wouldn't say I didn't care, but I
take it for granted.
yeah,
That's all
I
it
just
is.
took it for granted because I saw y'all every day. But now I value my time with y'all a lot more than I used to, and I love that time that I have with y'all every weekend or
Aw,
weekday.
you miss your mama.
I miss all y'all. But so so you think that was a difference? That you think that nowadays people just don't value that as much?
Well, it's always about, the next big thing. My kid's going to be the star quarterback, so we've got to go spend 20 hours a week playing football. Um, my kid's going to be the next, the first cheerleader ever that gets a gold medal, so we're going to spend 80 hours a week doing that. Well, do you really know your child? Does your child enjoy doing those things, or is your child doing those things because you want them to do those things? And I understand keeping children busy because idle hands are not good, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I think we put so much stuff in our schedule all the time that most of us really don't know what our children like or dislike.
That's fair. You got any questions for Mama that you want? Okay. Life is crazy, man. Shout out to living, dog. Love living.
I
Love
can
that
say
shit.
though, you both taught me what it was like to live with my heart outside my body.
Do you think that's important as a parent?
Yeah. Because I can honestly say I would give up my own life to protect any of them. Ever. Like there would be no choice for me. I value your lives more than I value my own. And that includes my 3 stepchildren too.
I was about to say. So we didn't really get into that.
Which they're my babies.
I was about to say we'll do that right now. Actually, we didn't really get into that. So you married our stepdad, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
If you see this, like I said, shout out Alan. Much love to you, dog.
I'm gonna make him listen to it on the plane.
I was about to say I'll see you tomorrow, or I might see you tonight. I don't know. But so Alan came with 3 kids.
Mhm.
So what was that like becoming?
Going from 3 kids to 6 kids.
Well, going from 3 kids to 6 kids, and also having 3 kids that let's just be real, we're all grown, that you didn't have birth of. You didn't,
So when I started dating your stepdad, and that's one thing, whether you're a man or a woman, when you date someone that has children, you have to know that they are a package deal.
Yeah.
Like that person is never going to leave their children for you. And if they do, you probably don't want to be with that person.
And that's real.
Um,
No cap.
so that first and foremost, if you're dating somebody and you are a single parent and they want nothing to do with your children, you probably need to find somebody else to date. Number one.
Yeah.
But that was the whole thing. I knew he was a package deal. As I started to fall in love with Alan, the kids came along with it. He had his kids all the time, and I fell in love with them too.
Was that another? Was that another? Not saying necessarily loving, but parenting kids that and I mean, I know they weren't necessarily grown up. I know Zach was still kind of a baby and everything, but was that another learning curve, having to learn to be a mom to kids that I mean, not saying you didn't know them, but
so
were growing up.
It's hard to be a step parent at any time. I believe it's harder when both parents do co-parenting.
Yeah.
Because you always have that mom or that dad not wanting or agreeing with what you say.
Yeah.
Our situation is a little different. The kids don't, Kaylee, Alyssa, and Zach don't have contact with their birth mother as much as they should.
I agree.
So it's kind of like me and Alan need to be on the same page, not me, Alan, and their birth mother.
Yeah.
Because
and we're gonna have Alan on the podcast too.
She is not
for Father's
a
if he'll do it. I don't know if
she is not an active member in their life by her choice.
Yeah.
So, but if she were, it would be basically all three of us coming to an agreement, or me standing behind my husband and saying, "Hey, I support whatever you decide."
Yeah.
But so my situation's been a little bit easier because it's just the two of us. Yeah. The hard part though is when you love those children as though their own, and they look at you and they get mad and they say, "You're not my mom." You're right. Maybe I'm not your biological mom, but, and I could be wrong. I don't know because I don't talk to their mother, but I feel like 90% of the time, I love those babies more than she does.
I can agree with that. I can see that.
Because I have the want and the drive to want to be there for them every day. One thing I cannot stand is when you have two parents that are not in a relationship with each other, yet the other parent says, "Well, you need to have my child call me." No. Yeah. You're an adult. And if you can't remember, put a timer on your phone, a reminder on your phone every day for an alarm to go off and say, "Hey, you need to call your kids." Because it is not my job or their father's job to remind them to call their mother. Yeah. Their mother is an adult, and I don't feel that children should ever have that weight or responsibility put on them to have a relationship with someone, especially an adult someone, when that adult is mentally capable of creating a relationship with that child.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of things fall. And one of the things I hope they understand, I hope my kids understand that I'm doing this for them. Well, if you don't call your kids, you don't see your kids, you don't pay for your kids, you don't become an active part of your kid's life, you are either A, an incubator, or B, a sperm donor. And that's how and that's just how I see it, because you're 20 years old.
Uh-huh.
You're 25.
About to turn 21, man.
Okay. Neither one of you, if something were to happen to me tomorrow, neither one of you would be like, "Oh, that's it. My mom's gone. I know everything I need to know to survive the rest of my life. I am never going to have to call anybody ever again."
I'm going to panic.
Yeah, I don't know what I do.
Full-blown panic attack. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, y'all are grown, but you still need me.
Of course.
Just like I still need you.
Of course.
So, It's hard. It's hard being a step parent or an additional parent or whatever you want to call it. Um, Sometimes the rewards aren't there,
Yeah.
but sometimes they are. Like when I showed up
Well,
at
that's just part of life.
Zachary's first baseball game a couple weeks ago, I didn't think I was going to be able to make the game. I made it. It was already an inning in. He sees me from the outfield and starts screaming, for me because he looked over and said, "Hey, Mama Missy's here.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's who I've been waiting for."
That's good.
Sometimes it doesn't go like that. Sometimes the step parent is shit on a lot, and it's a hard job, but it pays off
Yeah.
because eventually that child grows up and knows it's like, hey, I'm cooler than you are. I've got 3 parents instead of 2.
But I appreciate you coming on, babe. I'm glad you got to do this with me.
You're lucky. I wasn't in a good mood.
Are you in a good mood now?
I'm in a better mood, but now I need food, so I'm probably a little hangry.
Yeah, we better wrap it up. So one more thing. Is there anything that you learned from Mama, or with you? Because I know, and you'll be
Only the good
you'll be-
stuff, Joshua.
You'll be on the. We'll do the Father's Day podcast, so you'll be on that because I know you got 2 little ones. Shout out my niece and nephew. But is there anything that you learned from Mama that you want to speak on?
Oh, I guess.
I mean, we learned a lot, but
I guess the better question, would be where to begin. I mean,
what's the best thing you learned from Mama?
the best thing I probably learned from Mama would probably be what she said earlier, is that, sometimes you just got to take each day at a time. I'm a single parent myself, so even though I'm not necessarily a single mother, I do understand the struggles that single parents go through. And sometimes you just got to take one day at a time. And, if there's one person that I can definitively say that has always been there for me without a shadow of a doubt, I mean, it's been Mama. It's
Shout out all the single dads out there, man. Kings, y'all are kings.
a lot of people. I feel like sometimes can take their mom for granted and not think about, all the sacrifices, the trials, and the tribulations that they go through as a parent, whether it's a single mother or, just any other mother. As a father, I know parenting's a lot. And as a father, I feel like sometimes I only get half of it because I'm a father. And as a kid, too, I realize that 9 times out of 10, you're going to go to your mom before you go to your dad. That's just, I don't know if that's just instincts or what, but,
Yeah.
Well, and you're a boy.
Yeah, I think
I think it's a little bit different for girls sometimes. They usually run to daddy because mom's a bitch.
Sometimes, but like if I ever fell off my bike when I was little, like my first instinct wasn't to go to dad; it was to go to mom.
Yeah.
And I find myself repeating that in later life, just with different things. Like now, it's like man, I had a real shitty day at work. I need to call my mom so I can talk to her and let her know what's going on at work so I can vent.
Yeah.
Or just, things like that. Or, hey, I had this really good thing happen to me that I did. And see, I'm a weirdo. I'm a nerd. So, like, I'm into, like, the Marvel movies and the comics and the wrestling and things like that. So, like, she does her best. I'll give Mama that. She does her best. When I call her and I'll be like, so-and-so is going to wrestle so-and-so. I can't believe it. She does everything in her can to make me believe that, she cares about it just as much as I do. And at the end of the day, that's all you could really ask from your parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
like you and your
that was really good.
podcast.
That was really good. I think the best thing I learned from you was to be happy. I think that was it. To be happy. Don't settle for less because I had jobs where I hated them. I couldn't stand them. Like it made me sad. I didn't want to be there no more. And y'all know how I usually am. I'm usually a very happy person. I'm usually very go-lucky and, let's get shit done. So I think that was the best thing I learned because I applied to other things in life. You instilled in me that, whatever you want to do, put 100% effort in it. Don't half-ass.
That's right.
Don't, if you're going to do something, you say you're going to do something, do it, but put all your effort into it. Don't joke around. Don't take it serious. So I think that was one thing you instilled in me that I love about myself. Also, you are always a good person, and I think that rubbed off on me. I try my best to go into every day and be a better person than I was the day before, whether it be as a boyfriend or as a son or as a brother. Uh, I always try my best to help out where I can and do my best. And I think I really believe I got that from you because you always showed me that being a good person, even on your shitty days, is better than being a shitty person on your good days. So, she's better cry. But so I think that was one thing I learned, and I'm very grateful that you instilled that in me because that has carried me a long way with getting home, with going to work, with meeting people, being a good friend. Uh, it has taken me a long way, and I believe that it'll take me even further as I grow up and get older.
Oh, I did something right with you too.
We did I.
Yay, something.
But I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're leaving for Vegas tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get this episode out tomorrow. If not, it'll be on Monday. I'm gonna try to get it out tomorrow for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. Shout out to all the single moms. Shout out to all the moms in the world.
The single dads that are moms.
Yeah, single dads that hold it down, take mom's position.
But ultimately, everybody has a mom. So if you can, call your mother tomorrow. Give her a hug, give her a kiss, tell her you love her, and tell her you're sorry for all the shit you did when you were younger. Because we all know, like, I'm not stupid. I know both of these boys have all kinds of things that they used to do that I don't know about. I found out some on the first podcast. So, just tell your mama you love her, give her a hug, tell her you're sorry. You don't have to go into details, but.
And yeah, we're all, this is going to sound very wild, but we're all going to die. Let's just be real. We're all going to die. So enjoy the time you have with everybody on this planet because I promise you that money that you make, that shit that you did with the girls that you had sex with, whatever you're doing, that shit doesn't matter.
That's right.
None of that shit. The most important thing in your life should be your family. Your mom, your brother, your sisters, your aunts, whatever it is. Value people. I think that's in the world. I think we just, not even family wise, we just need to do that more. We need to value people more.
Value what you have instead of wasting time trying to get what you think you want.
Yeah. But we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate y'all doing the pod today. Love y'all.
I love you, boys.
I appreciate you, Mama. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And y'all have a good day, man.
Happy Mother's Day.